you star stop? And what do I say? A true star. And when we start watching whatever we want to watch, वो होता है ना highest level, कोई भी video game का, कोई भी movie का, for anything. Madhuri Dixit ji has always been right up there. Perfection has been the key. And in spite of that perfection, बहुत सारे लोग perfect हो जाते हैं, but they're not able to enter the hearts of the people. Well, Madhuri ji, you've done both. It's very difficult to do both, but thank you so much and welcome to Be For You.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on your show. And yeah, it's a difficult thing to do, but I think my fans are my fans and they just love me like unconditionally. So I'm very lucky.
No, ma'am, you've earned it also, because I feel there's been very few as hardworking, as perfectionist people. A lot of the people say, and itihas gawah hai is baat ka, chahe business ho, chahe Bollywood, anybody who's a perfectionist does not have a lot of friends. They all say the big Steve Jobs of the world and all. How did you manage to balance both? You had a strong work ethic, but still, it's not like you were like, a taskmaster with everybody else, probably with yourself. How did you manage to do the both?
Well, I don't know. My profession is such that it's me. I do everything. It's like, it's me on the screen. I will be acting. I will be doing everything myself. So I think for me, I've been hard on myself. I've always made sure that I've done everything right, whether it was my songs. I have to work very hard on the songs because I knew that I have to leave behind a legacy. And I said, the songs have to also be good, something that people will always remember. When it's like, I want to act so well that people should remember this. And even when I made my first song, my album, I said, I wanted something that's worth for people to come and watch and hear. It should be worth something. And I have never done anything in my life that's half-hearted. I say, Aadha Adhura, aise maine kabhi nahi kiya kaam, because I don't think it's worth my energy and people's, And so I've always worked hard and you're right. Because that's what happens, when you love what you do, you're passionate about what you do, and you want to always give it your best shot. So you're always involved with that. And you're always not only working yourself, but also inspiring others around you, to do better, to do good. Because I've always been not a harsh person, I've always been encouraging everybody, all actors who are working with me. I want them to do their best, because that's how a film works. It's teamwork. Only one person not really actually carry the whole film. It has to be teamwork, and you have to inspire. You have to always be there for everyone. So I think that's always been my mantra in my life.
I've always wanted to ask, I mean, this must be so easy for you now with reality shows and all, compared to earlier performances in when you do films. There's so much more riding on it. Now, is it like a cakewalk, like the current world of entertainment for you, for example?
Nothing is a cakewalk ever. You know that. You are
true
as well. So it's never a cakewalk. It's always, trying to find the right things to do for yourself, always finding the right opportunities, and making the most of it. So whether it's reality shows, or whether I do an OTT show, or whether I do a movie, or, everything has importance in my life. And it has to get that attention. It has to get that level of play. It has to get that finesse, that quality, which is very important. So even when I did HaiMera, I wanted to make sure that the quality is good, the way we picturize it says something, the song itself says something. And actually, this was planned a long time ago, and not a long time ago, but a few years ago. And I had made a collection of like 6 songs, which basically talk about being a star, what it means. It's called the film star, the whole album. But I'm dropping it like one by one as singles, because then it gives it enough time to grow. So it talks about behind the scenes. So the first one, Candle, which I released in the first
2 years ago.
Yes, 2 years. It was about being in very difficult times and yet shining like a beacon of light for everyone.
Right.
So you might be going through the worst phase in your life, but you have to be that beacon, because people look up to you. They look at you as an inspiration. So you have to do that for them. You have to give them that, that light. Even in not only me, but also like the doctors and the nurses who were treating all these COVID patients during that time. They were the beacon of light for everyone. Their moms are the light in all the kids' lives. So it's like that. And then, so it spoke about that, about my profession and how we have to always turn on the charm and be
Yeah,
nice,
yeah,
everything on. So there might be turmoil in your own life. Now, other thing about being a star is your fans and how
yeah.
they love you. And so this is my second song, which has to do with fans, which I think I've been very fortunate. I've had unconditional love from them, whether I'm going through bad times, a failure, or a success. They've always stood by me, always. And I thought that it was time that I did something for them, because all this time I've been receiving love letters from them. This
Yeah.
is my to my fans. So that's to HaiMera, and
And
it
I,
talks about.
And I love the period it's been released in also, ma'am. Happy belated birthday. Very rarely, I mean, I remember when we used to have birthdays, bachpan mein I used to enjoy it for the gifts. After a point of time, it was a lot of peer pressure also कि birthday पर करे क्या. As a star, how do you deal with the pressure of knowing that tomorrow half the world knows your birthday? People will be celebrating in a different way. This is a lovely gift that you've given to your fans and everyone, but just generally birthdays for you, were they stressful or were they always very peaceful and lots of love?
So for me, birthday is celebration. And I
Yeah.
think my fans go all out. They make it like a festival, which is amazing
Yeah.
to me. Just reading their wishes and their comments and the way they go about it, it's amazing. And I think I know that I'm really, really very lucky that this is the kind of fan base I have, and this is what they feel for me. And I think through my song I've said that that's the way I feel about you guys too.
Also, ma'am, your fan base is very excited because you keep reinventing yourself also. ऐसा नहीं है कि there's only one kind of facet that they're looking at. And I was reading through the YouTube comments and all also. They're very excited about the fact that there's a constant reinvention. I mean, there's a lovely video on YouTube of you and your son when he's just playing the piano. It's fantastic. There's just so many real facets to it. It's not like something they're just doing. A lot of people just do it, just for the sake of it. It's not like that with you. I think that's what they love.
No, I would never do anything half-hearted. I mean, just because. I will never do anything just because. It has to mean something. It has to mean something to me for me to do it. And it has to mean something for people who are listening or who will tune in to see what it is. It has to mean something. And like I said, I'm very careful about how we mount it. It has to look good. It has to feel good. There should be an emotion in it. Like we start, if you've seen the video,
Yes, the
we
letter.
start
Yeah.
with letters, the actual letters.
Yes.
Like it used to be in 90s, we used to get these
Yeah.
sacks of letters, cards, which the
Wow.
fans have made. इतना अच्छा खूबसूरत बना के, इतना time spent करके वो बना के, मेहनत करके वो भेजते थे. And we used to send them, letters back with our picture, an autographed picture, and mail it to them basically.
Wow.
So yeah, so that's the kind. And today, like by the time the song
Digital
ends,
world.
it's a digital world and everybody's like dancing with, they are with me. So that's how we, Charit has directed this, and Raja Kumari and Narendra Singh have worked on the music, and we wrote it ourselves. It's not like somebody else's words. It's us, it's me and her, and we sat down and what do I feel about my fans? And, so we penned down every word is ours. It's from my heart. So it's like, so you have to give them something that is, worth giving and for them to, absorb.
I love the picturization also. It's on a very grand scale also. If you would have thought that it's a, when I was watching, I didn't expect so much in the music video also, There's a lot of, not as much dance as I would have thought, but I guess that's also a separate facet. Is that also a tag that unfortunately you have to carry because everyone will want the queen of dance to always dance? So do you have to put that on a separate video or what's the plan with that?
No, the plan with that was that this was more of an emotional song. It was not a dance number. It was more of the emotion,
Yeah.
what I felt, and about, being with the fans in their lives, how they get me joy, they bring me joy. Like they say that you bring me joy, but for me, they also do the same, and how I feel about them. So I thought it was a more on the emotional side and more on the expressive side, and a little bit of dancing in between.
Yeah.
For the beats
That's
are very nice, very clubby kind of a number, very pop song. So for that, to give that feel. But of course, there will be a definite dance number also, which will have more dancing and more of what people know me as. But this was more like a singer who's, emoting basically. This was the song, but there will definitely be a dance song as well.
You've been seeing so many generations of dancers in front of you. When you're judging them, when you're seeing them, have we really become, because of the YouTube generation and because of online generation, has the current crop of youngsters become so fantastic that you're also shocked at, sab ready, everybody's totally ready, abhi start kar sakte professionally?
The funny thing is, when I started Dance with Madhuri, which is an online edutech for dancing, a lot of people had asked me this question: "Oh, you're doing this, or who's going to learn from the internet? How can you learn from the internet?" And now, when these competitions are happening, you ask anyone, "Where did you learn this from?" They say, "I learned it on the web. I learned it on the internet." So yeah. So it's like, see, I told you, and and I Dance with Madhuri, on which whatever you want to learn under the sun, whether it's salsa or Indian, classical, any kind of dance, you can learn on my platform. So I think somewhere I feel, yes, I was right, when I watch these little kids dancing from these small towns which have just learned from the internet. They don't get good gurus. And, these are the problems we had thought about when I did Dance with Madhuri. And I said, we have to give them the best choreographers that you can get to teach them, because that's very important. To get a good student is important, but to get a good guru is so important.
What's the toughest style? I mean, when you look at the Indian body and the Indian style, what has been the one toughest style for people to learn how to dance in India that you've always noticed?
Well, all the Indian classical dances are difficult in a way, because you need a lot of riyaz. You have to practice a lot for them. Like hip hop, every I think dance form has its own difficulties. Like hip hop is very physical, but classical has a lot of discipline to it. Like there's discipline. Like if this hand moves this way, it has to move this way. It cannot go any other way. That kind of, which teaches you a lot. And of course, with Kathak, you can play a lot with the beats, with the rhythm, with everything.
With the eyes or face expressions.
Face, Abhinay, Bharatnatyam is also similarly, because they all came from the temples, these dance forms. Kathakali is also a very difficult dance form. Ballet, which is also a very classical dance form, that's also very difficult. So there are difficulties, but if you love dancing, you will go through the pain, because you just love the feeling it gives you.
If you want to look like how you are when you're performing, ma'am, it goes through the pain. But the world will always keep asking you this question. Whenever you must be meeting anyone, ma'am, आप करते क्या हो? ऐसे कैसे दिखते हो? अगर अनिल कपूर साहब की बात करते हैं for Evergreen, you are exactly that. Reinventing yourself, trying something new. It's just fantastic. Is there a disciplined regime in your life also you follow? Early to bed, early to rise. ऐसा कुछ है फंडा?
Well, funda is eat right, eat healthy, exercise. I dance a lot and I exercise. And keep a very positive outlook in life. You have to be a positive person. And so is Anil. If you meet him ever, he's so positive. He's like that. He's always encouraging. Do this, do that, start running. It's like that. And you have to look at life as moving forward, not looking back. I've never looked back. I will always move forward in life. I want to do more things. I want to do this. I want to do that. So it's like that curiosity, that you have to keep up with that. And so I think we are just people who think that way.
But you're moving in the right direction. In this current world, man, there's such a combustion of, of content. People use it and then throw it and then use it and then throw it, and they don't possibly go back to it. How have you managed to adjust to, you've done an OTT show, you're on a dance platform, you've got an amazing track that is out, a track that came out a while back. How do you stay, in the moment with all your fans? I mean, sometimes, can you ever become insecure as a performer?
No, not insecure. I mean, I want to do my best. So that's my struggle always. That, is it the best? Is it the best I can do? Is it sounding good? Is it looking good? Have we picturized it properly? So everything needs your attention, and everything needs to be done in the right way. And I work very hard for that. And I'm very lucky that I have a very encouraging husband who always stands by me. He's the one who actually pushed me into singing. Finally, he said, just do it. You love to sing and you have a good voice. Why not? Just do it. And so I think I'm very, very fortunate that I have him. as a partner, and in everything I do. So it's wonderful.
When he saw the final product, was it like, wow? Was he a little bit critical also and looking for bits, or is it just fantastic? You know how husbands are with their wives, everything is perfect, or even wives are with their husbands.
No. We are very, very truthful with each other. If we don't like something, it's like, this is not looking very good. Let's change this. Let's change that. So it's always very creative inputs, very positive, and we are not like, we don't pull each other down. We always say, hey, this could have been done better. Let's do it this way. So,
Sweet.
so it's always like, because we want to create, whatever we create has to be something that's of quality.
Yeah.
And when he saw the song, first reaction?
When he saw the song,
Yeah.
loved it. He said, oh my God. There were some things that we needed to do, and we did on the song. And he pointed those out. He said, yes, as a technique like that. So then we kind of reshot those portions. But but we wanted to put out something that we could be proud of, saying that, hey, this is a song we're presenting.
I think it's the greatest pleasure for all of us performers. We've grown up watching your perfection. And I know that earlier also people used to think, yaar, ye kaise ho sakta hai? Nahi ho sakta hai. And I think eventually they will continue to do that forever. You're reinventing yourself, you're finding new spaces for yourself, and such a tough thing to continue to endure yourselves to the young audiences, and they love you for this. So a message for the fans before you leave us would be awesome.
Yeah, please do watch HaiMera, because it's been made with a lot of love for you guys, and it's my love letter to you. So please do watch it, and I hope you enjoy it. I'll always keep striving to do better, and thank you for all the love.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a real pleasure. Let her keep inspiring us. We keep getting inspired by a person who keeps reinventing themselves, and that's the whole point of it. Spend 30 or 40 years in the profession, learn to love it, and then keep trying to find a new niche for yourself. I'll catch you again soon on Be For You. Take care and bye-bye.